Now it's 1978. I have arrived at my headquarters in the South Waziristan Agency, one camp. I am the new CSP political agent in charge of the administration. I am armed with my secret weapon, a fresh PhD in anthropology. My mind is buzzing with ideas of tribal life and of the great game when the Soviet Union invades Afghanistan.
When you study their culture, when you study their feuds, you will see that they in fact pursue this right to the end, over generations. They wreck themselves economically, but they will carry out what they mean when their honor is involved. And I think their honor is involved really on such a massive scale that there's just no going back for them. Overwhelmed in the field, their major cities can be captured, but I don't think the country can be held. You've got the entire population now that is involved.
مشكلة صارت طولنا زيادة وصلت كاربس يوم الظهر تيجي بدون كابلوي مخنوي وعند الوسيلة رابط مرات مشتري أقوال قصدا بعض بتشوفنا غلط كاشي لا تنت كاشي لا ولا يصير دكتور دواعي سيلا بسرعة تشتا مكتب سيلا كاش بالاش مكتب سيلا بسرعة تشتا يوم شيء كنت عارش زاد ورد لا كان كم شيء
برا أصلا قداسي شهر جمهور أصلا سر تعلق में पाकिस्तान दुनिया तबीयती
सब दिन तो खबरों का सीधे मुझे एक शत दास
ना वो मुंगा देवाने दे क्लक यू जमुंगा जान दी के दावाना
The fierceness of the Wazir and the Masood is the stuff of legend. These are the warriors that destroyed an entire British brigade at the high noon of empire. Here, there were more British troops placed in Waziristan in a failed effort to bring control than in all of the rest of the Indian subcontinent combined. That is the scale of what goes on here. These were the days of prominent Americans denouncing Muslims as Satan worshippers, attacking Muhammad, the holy prophet of Islam, as a terrorist and pedophile. Commentators advocate the nuking of Mecca. I had lived my life straddling two worlds and have sympathy for both. Now I see the chasm between these worlds becoming dangerously wide.
Does this go from here, Ambassador?
A very interesting question. Muslim passion for the Prophet is not going to die down, and Western respect and absolute devotion to the idea of freedom of speech will not waver, and fortunately for us it will not waver either. We need to be much more sensitive to each other, to each other's cultures and traditions. We need to be promoting the idea of the dialogue of civilizations and away from the idea of the clash of civilizations.
This was a critical crossroads for America and for the world. I felt an urgent need for America to play and win what the British, with their typical public school humor, had called the Great Game. And I don't mean the Super Bowl. Initially, the Great Game described the 19th century rivalry for power and influence between Imperial Russia, China, and Britain. America is a relatively new player. There are winners, losers, pawns, and too often deadly consequences in what is no child's game. America is strongest when it is truest to itself and its values. World leadership, like it or not, must come from America. We face two ongoing wars, Pakistan in turmoil, and the scourge of terrorism growing like a spreading cancer, while real problems in the Muslim world remain untouched. If we cannot address the sense of grievance against the United States, America will not be able to focus on what puts us all at peril. Sea levels are rising, families are losing their life savings, people across the globe are starving. The trains keep rolling down the tracks. Mumbai, then Gaza. Where next? Can we proceed with open hearts, friendship, hearing the other, choices, knowledge, or merely our own tribe's version of the truth, compassion or vengeance. Our fate will come from what we choose. The crossroads loom before us. What choice will you take?
Hi, my name is Dr. Saoud Anwar. I'm actually the president of the Pakistani American Public Affairs Committee, and I'm also the co-chair of the American Muslim Peace Initiative. This is a critical time in our history when never before has the communication and better understanding between two different communities has been as important. We believe that better understanding of people in the United States and the people in Pakistan needs to occur, and this step, discussion and education by Professor Ahmed is one huge step in that direction. I cannot think of a better person to initiate that step. I cannot think of a better educator who actually presents this in a perfect form. So this is something that is true and is much needed as a solution. It's a therapy for the world at this time. Thank you.
Our personality, and what's shown through tonight, and maybe for the first time in this iteration, is the grace, the humility, the sense of service and fortitude that is this extraordinary person.
The privilege of Akbar allowing us to probe into his life was the fuel that made this happen. The result of that process, and Akbar makes a big deal of not only of the professional level of that, we worked hard and deeply and with focus.
Well, I love the play that Dr. Ahmed put on for us. It inspires me because after hearing all of his stories for 3 years, listening about the tribes and all of the different ways that people around the world live and think, I realized how important it is for us today because of our wars in Afghanistan and Pakistan, how important it is for Americans to understand how they live. But also the play really inspires me because after knowing him for 3 years and knowing his life, I know how important it is and how many moral struggles he's had to overcome. And that moral leadership that he shows through his play is also very important for us. So not only is it important in terms of foreign policy, but for every person that goes to see it, it's very inspiring on a personal level.
I thought that the performance was really, really good. We've been working on this project for over a year. So at the very beginning, we had just some of Dr. Ahmed's stories, and he had so many. So it was a question of putting them together and which one would work, which one didn't work. And we have all of these performances, and I thought he did a really, really good job. And the audience was with him 100%. And there was about 20 members of the old guard, the army regiment that was there, and after the performance he called it a jewel. He said, "Thank you for bringing this to us, and it's we've learned so much."
The play Waziristan, Washington, it was great to see it finally come to on stage with everybody there and the packed hall, and I thought it was great to have the soldiers there watching it. The audience was great from way back when we first started thinking about it and talking about it to seeing it on stage. It was really fun to watch happen.
Everywhere around the world, they come to America.